back to Restaurant Food Fest. Today is not a good day. Today's a bad day. I get very aggravated when I have to go away. I have to go to Chicago next week.
He'll miss me.
I do.
I can understand.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Corey said he wanted to see some healthy food. So we are going to oblige Corey today by frying everything I can possibly find.
This is what happens when our viewers ask us to do things. This started with, hey, can you guys show me how to make onion rings? And it went from, yeah, we'll make onion rings to, ta-da!
So I guess we're not doing onion rings.
No, we're going to do onion rings also.
You deep fry onion rings. If
Yes.
it deep fries, we're going to do it.
Yes, and we're also going to go back over the breading stations and the difference between breading and battering and the different types. It's really easy. Again, you've done it a billion times if you've done any of the recipes on the show, so you already know how to do it. But we are.
This is episode 45.
45?
45.
Wow. We've been doing this way too long.
You add the numbers together, it's your IQ.
9?
Almost. My IQ's just a little bit of that.
Just saying.
Just saying. We are going to deep fry everything under the sun. Cheese. I've got plenty of cheeses. Typically, cheese sticks are mozzarella or provolone. We are going to do mozzarella, Monterey Jack, Colby Jack, Pepper Jack. We like Jack.
We'll fry the heck out of some Jack.
Yes. We're also going to do bacon-wrapped battered dates. We are going to do fried mushrooms, fried zucchini, and
Fried Oreos.
We're going to do fried, well, can't use Oreos because they're not Oreos.
We're going to be doing fried cream cookies.
Yes. And we're also going to wrap them puppies in bacon again because they were so damn good the first time.
Coma pills.
Huh?
Coma pills.
Coma pills, yes. You eat one of those and you're done. You're right out. Food coma. So this is, the fryer's cranked up. Just be careful when you fry. Use the level meter on, there's a level meter. It's not a level meter. It's a line on your fryer. What happens is if you put too much oil in that fryer and you put a wet product in, it's going to bubble up. And if you have too much oil in there, it's going to bubble up right up over the top and out onto your counter. That's not a good thing. So make sure you use the right amount of oil and just be careful. It's hot.
Read and follow your safety instructions by the manufacturer.
Thank you, Jeffrey. That's a word from our headless sponsor back there. Basically, the only differences when you fry are the types of breadings and batters you use. Unseasoned flour, just standard, or you can season it, you can make it a savory batter. You can take, basically when I use a batter, I use a pre-mixed pancake batter. As it is, it's great for doing, this is a funnel cake, basically. If you take this and dump it in oil, which we will do, it makes a funnel cake. If you take this and put salt and pepper and chili powder and beer, whatever, you turn it into a beer batter. You turn it into more of a savory batter for doing vegetables and things of that nature. But yeah, those pre-mixed stuff, really, really great to have around because they're super easy to, you don't have to worry about putting in your baking powder, baking soda, all that other crud.
Baking stuff.
Yeah, baking's not me. I don't like baking.
We are going to deep fry.
Yes, lots of things.
Lord of the Fries.
He didn't say that, did he?
I wasn't listening.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. He went there.
I lived there.
All right, onion rings. That'll be your onion.
You need an onion.
I'm not overly pleased with today. Can you tell?
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, you want to explain what we got in the bowls here?
If you force me, I will. All right, Ward wants to know what's in here. This is flour, unseasoned, regular old flour.
Out the bag.
Yep, right out the bag. That is an egg in milk. Egg wash. And this is seasoned breadcrumbs.
Which could be substituted for panko breadcrumbs.
Yes,
or
panko breadcrumbs, unseasoned breadcrumbs,
these are
cracker
seasoned,
crumbs.
These are seasoned.
These are seasoned. You know, typical out of the thing. I put them away already, so I'm not going to. No, there they are. Pardon. Typical seasoned 4 C's breadcrumbs. The finest of breadcrumbs that you can buy from any grocery store around you.
We got to build these people.
Yeah, really. Onion rings. These are not typically the onions you use when you make onion rings.
You'd want to use like a big Vidalia onion?
Yeah, nice big Vidalia onion. But we will make do if I don't cut off my little fingers here.
If he does cut off his fingers, I will finish the show.
If we cut off my fingers, he will laugh hysterically.
And finish the show.
Getting the breading to stick to onions can be a pain. It just is. It doesn't like to stick. So you take your rings and put them in flour first, and hopes that the moisture from the onion picks up on that flour and allows you to.
I have a question.
7.
Could we take your pancake batter
Yes.
and dip the onion in the pancake batter and then deep fry it?
Yes. Yes, you can have.
That would make them kind of...
It would be the difference between battered and bread.
So it would be more or less like a onion ring wrapped in a donut.
Yes. Battered onion rings. Lots of places have battered onion rings. We'll do that to start. It's real easy.
We're going to do battered onion rings or this kind?
We're going to do battered to start, and then I'm going to do regular.
Well, this is breaded.
Not yet. I just put them in the flour because it's there.
Okay.
What you can do is just take these, dust them in flour a little bit. This is to get your batter to adhere, basically, because onions, like I say, they don't like to accept batters. And then you just take them, drop them in breading. Can't see that camera. How about that? There you go. Batter. This is batter.
Now how are you going to get them out?
I'm not. You are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You know, the other thing that one of our readers suggested is that you actually do something.
Yeah, I read that comment and I decided that he was high. Because I'm not doing nothing like that. That's why I don't cook. I don't like getting like that. That's
It won't hurt you. I still see you got the speed of a rhino.
Where do I dunk you in there?
Yeah, okay. Alright, hot oil. Hi. This is the other camera. Basically take onion ring, drop in hot oil. Now you can change your oil.
Into what?
A
Gold.
monkey.
Diesel fuel, whatever you like. I don't change my oil much. In my car or my Pride. Okay, so there you go. You got your onion rings in. Turn them once.
Turn them into what?
Diesel fuel, whatever you like.
My joke's not funny the second time either.
Well, neither was you asking me what I'm going to turn my onion rings into.
It was.
No.
Yeah.
So you're looking for the nice golden brown onion ring, which we pretty much have. Jeffrey, would you hand Ward a paper towel?
Don't throw the big thing at me. Mucho gracias.
There you go. See those? I don't know how the color correction is, but you've got some nice battered onion rings. Onto a plate. that has a paper towel on it to soak up all the excess grease. And that's it for batter. Take a look.
They look yummy.
So simple. One way.
Now this time we're going to do it with the bread.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much the same steps. You're going to drop them
Same
in the
steps.
flours.
Yep, drop them in the flour.
So you always need to do the flouring part.
Yes, the flouring part, batters and breadings won't stick to moisture. If you try and bread something, you can stick it directly in breading, and it just doesn't, no. Yes, you always use the flour.
Could you substitute like cornstarch or something to hopefully get it more crunch? Or
Yes, you could do that. It's basically a dry product. You want to start into a dry product to give the coating something to adhere to. Onions are notoriously smooth and they don't like to grab any of this. So that's why you start with this. But this is just a normal breading station. This is very simple. You flop your onions around, throw them in the egg wash to get the flour is now wet, and then you put them in crumbs. And you can do this in a mass process. You can do it, if you do these a lot, putting them in a sieve over a bowl, and you can dump flour on them. You can do them however you like. I've seen people do them in bags, plastic Ziploc bags. They put these ingredients in each one of the Ziploc bags with the product in, pull it out of the bag. It just depends on how you like doing it. I like the traditional breading station because that's what I'm used to. So you do these. And this is where you get club hands from, because I'm doing wet, dry, everything all with one hand.
So if you did it with your feet, you get a club foot.
Yes, you would. What you want to do is keep dry and dry, wet and wet. You would switch off now and use the hand that's not all gunked up to use the dry. And that way you don't get all kinds of lumpy things all over your hands, as Alton Brown likes to harass people about.
We see you're no Alton Brown.
No, I am definitely no Alton Brown. He is one of my all-time favorites on TV, though. So with this, same thing. Bring it over to your fryer. Drop them in the fryer. Don't drop them from a great height. You don't want to be splashed with 370-degree oil. It's not a fun thing.
Yeah, speaking of the temperature of the oil, is everything going to be fried at the 375, or would you actually vary the temperature depending?
You can vary the temperature depending. It's like cooking anything else. The higher the temperature you're going to have, the outside is going to cook faster than the inside. So if you want something that's cooked thoroughly through, like if you're going to deep fry chicken, you use it at a lower temperature because you have to cook it longer and you don't want the outside to get burnt. So you would drop that temp down to 3 1/4. Frying, little vegetables and things like that, jack that heat up because I still want it to be crunchy. Now, let's move these over here, show you the difference between battered onion rings and breaded onion rings.
Battered onion rings are fatter. They're
Yeah.
like a donut wrapped around it.
Yeah, and if you look, the breaded onion rings are thinner, crunchier with the breading. See, this side's the breaded, this side's the battered. Just depends on what kind you like. Okay, that's onion rings in a nutshell. They're really easy to make. A bloomin' onion, I can show you the basis of a bloomin' onion. The reason we don't have time for it, when you want your vegetable products to spread out and open up, you have to put them in ice water. So we don't have the time to set these in ice water. All you would do is take an onion, and you don't cut it into slices, you cut down on it and you make the little shape of the bloomin' onion. Set it in ice water. It's going to unfurl and open up. And then you just take it through a batter process. Dust it in flour, dip it in batter, throw it in a deep fryer. That's it. Same thing, it's basically onion rings still held together.
Okay.
What do we want to do next?
Deep fry something.
Deep fry something. How about
Got the cheese right there.
cheese? Okay.
Do cheese.
Do cheese. We do cheese. we'll start with tradition, and this is Mott's.
Applesauce?
Huh?
Applesauce?
Mott's.
Yeah.
No, not Mott's. Mott's. Mozzarella. String cheese, basically. You go out and buy those cheese packets, the police string cheese, that's mozzarella. And all you have to do is figure out what shape you want this to be. Alright, so I want the length to be about like that. How thick you want them is up to you. I'm
So
thinking...
you're roughly cutting that in half?
Yeah, that would be a very small. I'm going to do kind of plankish. So I'm going to cut them like this. When you fry cheese, it does not matter the shape you're frying at all. It makes no never mind. I've had half moons, I've had sticks, I've had cubes. It just all depends on how you want it done.
Wouldn't it alter the cooking time though, if it's a really chunky, thick piece?
No. Not with cheese.
It's
Cheese,
still 350 degrees.
cheese is a lot like ice cream. You're looking for the coating to be done. You're not necessarily looking for the cheese to be done. The cheese will melt. It is going to melt. Don't care what you do to it, it'll melt.
Carryover?
Yes. So again, take your cheese, dust in flour. You know what, I'm not going to do these first because I'm going to save these because Ward has said he's never had, or was it you, Jeff, that said you never had battered cheese sticks?
I never had, not that I can think of.
Okay, well I'm going to do one of each. So again, same things with the onion rings. You're going to dust the cheese off. The flour gives the wet ingredient something to stick to. So you pretty much take those, dust them off, roll them around in the egg wash, drop them in the seasoned crumbs. Now the only thing I don't have today that I'm kind of frustrated about is I would have loved to have done shrimp. But I didn't go get any. And you had some at home. Yeah, I know.
Actually, no, this is the only week I haven't had them. I used them 3 days ago.
Been on a protein kick lately, huh?
Yep. Protein and
So,
carbs.
there you go. These around.
Now, if you wanted to double coat those, would you reflour them first or just go straight to the egg?
Straight back to the egg. Just like if you were doing chicken. Chicken, when you do fried chicken, typically there's no... It's a flouring station, but you use ice water. Thank you. Ice water is a trick when you're doing fried chicken. Ice water and seasoned flour, and you go back and forth. So you're building up layer upon layer of breading product on that chicken.
So what you just did to your fingers is basically you're done.
What you would, yes, but the ice water is key because it keeps the flour, the glutens in the flour from getting real tough. It keeps them set. So just remember, if you're doing, we'll do a fried chicken episode. It just takes a long time to cook it. But I'll show you. It's like I say, the key is in the water. It's got to be freezing cold. Now the last two products I drop straight in the oil. I do that with battered products a lot, and products that I'm worried about the breading coming off. It's not as safe. You should always try and set your stuff into your basket and then lower your basket. But if you're doing a breading product, it'll stick to the basket. That's why I drop it in hot oil. With the cheese sticks, you don't have to worry about that. You can put those right in the basket because the breading's not going to come off of these. It's adhered on here pretty well. So I'm just going to drop these in here.
Well, while Chuck's doing that, I'm going to take a minute here and give or ask for some help from our viewers. What we're wanting to do is after the new year starts, we want to start doing, well, the new year coming up soon. Shut up, go cook something. After the new year starts, we want to start doing episodes based on types of cooking, styles of cooking. This is an idea I had. What we could do, I did have this idea.
Didn't we talk about this a long time ago?
Yeah, but
Okay.
this is my idea now, so shut up.
Okay, he has decided this is, yeah, that's a good idea. It is.
Yes. What we'll do is have our viewers email us, hit us up on Twitter, whatever way you want to get in touch with us through the comments.
Did you hear how cool he is? Hit us up on Twitter. He rolls like that.
That's how I roll. That's exactly how I roll. Anyway, any of those ways to get in touch with us, because what we want to do is we'll take like a month, and for that entire month we'll do that type of cooking. So if you say,
All right, now Jack.
Cheese?
Yep, here. But now you get to see how to ruin cheese. This is what happens. Where the hell did there they are. This is what happens when you don't pay attention when you're frying something. Did I tell you about the cheese is always going to melt?
we did.
It did. This is what happens when you don't pay attention to frying. You see this mess? These cheese, it's gone, pretty much. Because I did not pay attention to it.
Husks.
Huh?
Cheese husks.
Cheese husks, basically. It all kind of melted together and dripped that into my oil.
Actually, good taste.
Pay attention to your fryer. In just that long of time, that was it done. So, yeah, pay attention to what you're doing.
Back to what I was saying. What we're going to do is, for a month, we'll do a certain style of cooking, which is roughly 4 episodes, because we shoot once a week. So, get us your questions in, or your suggestions for what kind of cooking. Like, for example, in January we can make it Mexican, and we'll just do 4 shows on Mexican food. Whatever. Let us know what you want to do, and that's how we'll proceed. Because the last 4 episodes, 5 episodes we've done have all come from questions from the community, and that's what we're looking for, is get the community involved. Tell us what you want to see, you know, or like we said before, if there's a different recipe you want, if you want to give us a recipe that you do, and we'll do it for you. Quit making faces behind me.
Sorry.
You talk now.
I talk now? I bet you what they want to see is they want to see me do this without it being roached. We'll try that. Cheese. Batter this time.
Do you find that the batter works better than the breading?
No. It's just a choice. I don't think either one works well. It's what you are looking for. If you're looking for the texture of the breading, that's what you go for. If you're looking for the batter texture, then that, of course, is what you use. So let's see if I can do this and not roach them. Something as simple as cheese baffled the crap out of me, which I find interesting.
I'll sit there and eat them all day.
Why?
Yeah, but you're going to jail. Ooh, gooey.
They're still good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Come on, you little bastard. The trick with the battering the cheese, flip it. You gotta get it flipped. You want that batter to cook real fast before it comes out. Ha! Ta-da! What? You making faces again?
No.
No, he had a string of cheese.
String of cheese, not my neck.
Looked like the cat that ate proverbial canary that was on a leash.
Ah!
They look much better.
Well, that's because I paid attention to them. Now, I'll have to tell you that batter frying cheese, is much more difficult than breading cheese, in general.
And why is that?
Because batters are generally harder to work with because they don't want to adhere properly. Here's another trick. When you're doing cheese, freeze it. Cold cheese won't melt as fast when you're frying it. This is standard room temperature soft mozzarella. You really got to pay attention if you're using a room temperature cheese. But as you can see, these came out perfect. They look like little
blocks of cheese.
Yes, perfect cheese.
They are really good.
Now, by any stretch, the cheese that was butchered is not bad. It just didn't hold its shape. So it's cosmetic only. It still tastes really good.
Yes, it does. Except it's really, really hot.
Not now.
Leaves you cheese strings.
Mm.
Now, do you have to cut them in half, or, I mean, could
Nope.
you just take them in as is and just...
Yep. It's just a size thing.
Too many jokes.
You know, I've put up with you for most of my life. Don't ask me why.
And you're so much happier for it.
Don't ask me why. Alright, with the mushrooms, I am going to season these. I have flour. I put a little bit of chili powder in here before Ward stopped me and said, hey, this is a cooking show. You may want to show them what you're doing. I keep forgetting it's not an eating show. So I just had flour and, what did I say? Chili powder.
Chili powder.
Black pepper.
You put a lot in there?
Yeah.
I want to take the lid off.
Don't want to. Salt. That's it. Pork. Mix.
Now for this, could you also just use the breadcrumbs and stuff?
Yep.
Or could you use that as like a secondary wash where you come through, hit the flour, the egg, the breadcrumbs, the egg, and then that?
No.
Why?
You could.
But it wouldn't work.
It would work. The texture.
So if you wanted it crunchy and you had the panko breadcrumbs in there, you could do that.
Yes, and you'd end with the panko.
Okay.
And then once you put the flour on it, because flour doesn't give a crunch. Flour is more for adhesion. And if you think about fried chicken, the Colonel's fried chicken, that's the texture of flour when you fry it. Unless you just really crush it and get it real crunchy, which is difficult to do without burning it. It's basically for adhesion. With these, again, these are going to be pretty darn simple. Mushroom. Seasoned breading. Take all the mushrooms. Seasoned flour, basically. Take them all in here. Coat them with the seasoned flour. Not a lot of seasoning. Just enough. Taste your flour. If you put seasonings in it, taste it. See if you taste a little hint of what you've put in it. If you have, you're good. Flour tends to hold flavors a lot longer than you expect. So if you taste it to where the flour tastes good, way over seasoned, and your product's going to be salty and overdone. So that's it. I got breading. I got mushrooms in breading. Because it's breading, I'm going to drop the basket so they don't stick to it. Completely cover these in breading. Let it drop off the excess. Oh, that stuck to the finger. You don't want that to happen. You don't want the oil to splash and get you. Ouch, like that.
It's nice to see that you're willing to give up your body so that our viewers can understand what pain is.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I worked at a restaurant, my hands and arms look like a zebra. You get burnt daily, repeatedly. It just is the way it is. It's the nature of the beast. You're working around hot things, the heat lamps, the broilers, everything. You get burned all the time. Your hands and arms look like dog meat. When you're doing vegetables, that's what you're looking for. You want that the breading is it. That'll work. It's golden brown, and that's all you're looking for. The higher your oil setting is, the faster you're going to achieve that. Okay? That's it, deep fried mushrooms. Now, texturally, the difference in mushrooms you see and get out is the thickness of the batter. The thicker the batter is, the more overall it's going to coat uniformly. The thinner the batter is, you want to get it submerged very quickly so the batter sets. But that's Deep fried mushrooms. Very easy. As you can tell, all of this is the same. You do the same thing for all of it. We're talking about being burnt. When you're hiring in your kitchen, a lot of times one of the old school chef styles to hire was, first thing they would do is say, let me see your hands. And if the back of your hands didn't have lines and this side of your hands didn't look like Alpo, then they know that you don't have experience. Because it literally took me about, I don't know, 4 years to get the scars from my hands. And I mean, I still have some of them. Some of them will never go away. The cuts and such never go away, so the knuckles, and every time you get cut, you have scars. But when you're cooking, the back of your hand gets these scars on them, because generally when you put a plate up, you'll have heat lamps to keep the food warm until the server gets it. They're red hot coils. So you put the food up and you go to place something on that plate like that, whack, you get hit with that heating element, and your hand looks like, you look like a zebra. In this part, from grabbing pots that are on there, from, you know, you're flying, you're in the middle of a rush, you turn around, you grab a pot, and that handle has been sitting over the fire because someone didn't put the handle the right way, and you didn't think to grab, because you always have a towel with you. And everything you grab, you use that towel, because if you don't, you're going to get burned. But you forget. You grab that handle, and that's it. You just grab the.
You remember immediately.
Yeah, it's like you pull your hand away, and you've got that big loop from the handle burned in your palm, and you can't stop. The next thing you do is grab the towel, grab it again, and away you go, because you can't. You have to go. People have this impression of, you know, food artistry. Not so much. Unless you are in a super high-end restaurant that has the staff and the time considerations to do that. I mean, there are restaurants out there that plate up quickly and they have really good food that looks beautiful, but it's moving. It's moving. I'm telling you, if you have a restaurant that isn't moving, you're not making money. So you want to get turns, man. You want to get those people in and out. So you turn your dining room 3, 4, 5 times in a night, you're going to make some money. That's the object. In and out. Fast as you can do it. That's why all this stuff is the same. Everything you do is the same. Someone wants mushrooms, it's the same as zucchini, as you name it. So it's what's your phrase, Jeffrey? Economy of motion. You set up your kitchen and you think of a menu that is going to suit the price range and the people that you're serving. So if you're going, you know, for a nice midline, set things up, they're going to fall into that category. You know, don't price yourself out of the game. Don't underprice yourself. Portion control, and away you go. It's a bear. I mean, running a restaurant is a bear.
Polar bear?
Kodiak?
Big, mean Kodiak. I mean, what are the stats on that? It's like 95 or 98% of restaurants fail within the first year. Out of those that make it, another 90% fail within 5 years.
Something
so
like that.
Your percentages are, I mean, that's roughly what it is. I haven't read the reports lately, but it's tough. And if you're thinking about restaurants, cash, man, you got to have a lot of cash up front. You want to have working capital. So think about that. What do we want to do now? Zucchini. You want to do zucchini? We'll do zucchini. Zucchini. We will do the zucchini for the squirrel. She likes zucchini.
And for the most part, this is all bar food. If you go to a bar, and you go to their restaurant or whatever, you're gonna get the cheese sticks. You're gonna get, you know, fried mushrooms, fried zucchini, wings. We did wings before, but it's the same thing.
Zucchini. There are multiple ways to do zucchini. You can do breaded. You can do full coated. There's one way that I know. I'm making these for the squirrel. I know how she likes them. It's the same way we used to do in Mike's, the Italian restaurant I was at.
It's the mandolin.
It's the vicious mandolin.
Has it been sharpened, perchance?
Yeah. I sharpened it just because I wanted to give our viewers.
Let them see what a sharp one did.
So you're only going to lose two fingers?
Well,
this
I wanted
time?
to show them what it's like to lose fingers on a mandolin. planks.
Yes, that's working much better than it did before.
Well, again, this is also a zucchini as opposed to a potato. But yeah, I sharpened the blade a little bit. It was getting a little dull. I tend to use that thing quite a bit. I'm going to use, as you were saying, finalizing with flour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that for these. I'm going to use the seasoned flour, and I'm going to go from flour to egg wash, and now I'm going to go back to this flour.
The seasoned flour.
Yes. Hey, look, a mushroom that I missed.
Could you start with the seasoned flour and go back to it, or
Yes.
would that just be too much flavor?
It could be. It could be. It's not really. It's not going to be that awful bad. I'll do a couple of these straight, and then a couple of these with the seasoned flour, and see which ones you guys like better. You just got to remember the seasonings you use are, you know, it's all on if you like that or not. You know, this has got some strange additions for zucchini. I mean, I've never used zucchini in chili. I suppose you can, but the chili powder, the cumin, is going to give it a little different flavor.
Give it a twang.
Mm-hmm.
So thickness isn't going to be a problem with this one either, or can you have that with vegetables, just because of water content?
Yeah, you got to watch water content. Is a good thing that Jeffrey brought up. Water and oil are bad. High water content vegetables will make the oil foam. That's one of the mean things to do in a restaurant. If you get fired, people would walk by and drop a whole red potato into a deep fryer. And what happens is that potato just seals itself from all that, but there's a lot of water content in there. So it cooks and cooks and cooks, and no one knows it's in there, and all of a sudden it breaks and all that water hits the oil. It actually explodes. Vicious stuff.
Have you done that?
Huh? Have I done that? Mm-hmm. No. No, I would not do that. That you can.
I just wanted to see if he was dumb enough to admit to a felony.
No, he definitely put somebody in the hospital with that. So,
Joke.
zucchini planks. Well, personally, zucchini is one of the foods that I'm not overly fond of. So, I mean, I cook them. I've been cooking them for years. I don't particularly like them.
It's deep fried. It's good.
They don't have much flavor, so it's not like you're gonna. Ooh, wow, that tastes like zucchini. All right, that's about all the time we have for today. We're not going to get into half the things we wanted to fry. Part 2. We'll do that next week. Because I'm going to do these dates in bacon and battered because they sound really good. But basically we're running up to our hour. So
Yeah.
keep all the suggestions coming. We appreciate everybody out there. Keep getting the spikes in viewership. Don't know why, but hey.
Because of me.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, it's because of him. Now we just got to figure out how to get him to do something.
We finally got a sex symbol on the show. And
That's what it is. It's, you know, I try and get Ward to do stuff, and his classic response is, "Oh, I have to edit." So it's that whole dispersion of work thing. He's
trying to make me give him the finger and lose our G rating.
You know what? I like having Ward on the show. It's again, it just goes back to his drastic democratic left-wing liberal theories of dispersion of work. We argue about this all the time, and you know, hey, that's all right. That's, you know,
Union now.
yeah, he is. He keeps saying it's not my job. He's just so pro-union, so left-wing that it's just how it works. But hey, we're outie.
No, we're not. Number one.
I did that. Come on.
Number one.
Your rebuttals.
I'm not rebuttaling nothing.
Watch your rebuttal.
We want our viewers to contact us at restaurantfoodfast@gmail.com. We want them to contact us through Twitter at restaurant_food.
Yes.
Hit us on the website at restaurantfoodfast.com. Leave comments. Contact us in whatever way you can. This week's episode came to us through a comment on the website.
Yes.
In addition to another email that came in. Apparently everybody likes to see us deep fry stuff. If you have ideas for us, stuff for us to deep fry, send it in.
This was the sedate episode. You know, this was what you would typically deep fry bar food.
Yes. Next week we'll do the Insano.
Yeah, the
Crazy
bacon
stuff.
wrapped dates with pistachios, the cookies, and we just don't have the time.
Because once we start deep frying, we just can't stop.
That's right.
And it shows.
Yeah. So, are we out now?
Yes, we are now. Until next week, I'm Ward. That's Chuck. Restaurant Food Fast. We're out!